What is up, everybody? This is Passion here, and today I got a little blast from the past. This is a prop I did from a Christmas play we did at my local church. Basically, family kids broke the neighbor's snowman, and we needed a snowman's head. So I made one, and by far this is one of my favorite projects I ever did. I truly enjoyed it. I loved the way it came out. It worked great on stage, and I don't have any video, but I got a handful of pictures I want to share with y'all today. And I didn't know how to go about this project, so I just kind of reverse engineered what I thought would be a starting point, and I just used what I had because I didn't really have a budget. And you'll see as we go that this thing's kind of made out of nothing. So here we go. Of course, for the size, I needed to make a shell, so I stole the wife's exercise ball, as you can see here, and I started making a shell. First, I didn't want nothing to actually stick to the ball because I wanted to be able to deflate the ball. So I just threw a garbage bag around it, and then I started paper macheing around the whole thing. I didn't make like the normal paper mache where it's like the flower and the water and all that. I actually used tacky glue and wood glue, and I started using different glues because I wanted it to harden a certain way, and I just thought that was the best approach. So as you can see between these two pictures here, every time I would do a layer, I would paint it, and then I'd go do another layer, and then I would paint it. So I just built up these layers until I had a nice shell, as you can see here. And then I jumped to this point. Now at this point I had a bunch of 2-inch of insulation foam around my house. It was a bunch of scraps. So what I did here is I used these scraps to make like these half moon pieces, and I just started gluing them down. I used hot glue, glue sticks. I used wood glue, I used liquid nails, I used whatever I could find. And by the way, the final shell of the ball was a layer of duct tape. I mean, you can't make anything without a little duct tape, right? So as you can see here, I just started filling in the scraps that I had. Some scraps were short, some were long. I cut them, I trimmed them, and I just started building up around the ball. This is another picture here. Now, to go from this picture to this picture, this right here is the pink foam. This right here is insulation. It's the great stuff. It's the foam that you can buy. It's in a can that when you spray it, it will expand. So the solid is the pink foam that you see here, and the gray stuff is all right here. So as you can see, I built up what I could. I sprayed in the cracks for what I have. Here I have this hanging upside down on a swing, threw a layer of paint on there. Anytime I have to do anything in layers, I like to paint between my layers, so when I go to make changes, I can see my progress. Right here, this is my little boy. He did some of the painting here. Alright, so now the snowman needs a hat. Wasn't quite sure how to approach it. Wife had a mop bucket that was the perfect size, so I improvised a little bit. Wrapped it in a trash bag. Here you can see me starting to do the newspaper again, making my own little deal, my own little shell, and I just kept working it. Trying to get the proportions right. I think at first the hat might have been too long. I can't remember. But this is me just trying to get it together. Alright, so here I am finishing up on the hat, and I am mapping out what my snowman's going to look like. Just took some spray paint, sprayed around the edges of where my eyes, my nose, my mouth. Now, because the storyline was that the snowman's head was broken, I needed to make a gigantic dent. So this is what you're seeing here. These are the dents that I improvised in, and there you go. This is me cutting out some smaller pieces of foam to do the eyes, to do the mouth, and instead of a smiley face, I did kind of like a sad face because he just lost his head. I mean, nobody's gonna be happy on that. Here you can see where the spray foam, where I started trimming it and kind of shaving it to where I could start getting a smoother finish all the way around. Here is the dent. This is where I'm adding some wall spackle into the crack because I'm starting to shape and layer, and I want to get that kind of frosty feeling to it. This is just a closer up picture of it. Again, just trying to work all this foam to be kind of consistent with each other. Here I just took, I remember I took a couple of strips of cardboard, kind of made some triangles out of them, wrapped it in duct tape, and voila, there is my nose. Let's see here. Alright, so after I did the hat, I had to make a dent in the hat to kind of go along with the dent on the side of the head. So once I got it glued down, I kind of had some gaps from where the ball was. So here I add some more great stuff right up in here. This is the same stuff I added between the ribs of the snowman head when I started building it. So that's what you're seeing here. Here's a close-up picture. Again, now see, this might have been normal paper mache paste here because it looks cloudy. I might have used both. I can't remember. I could have sworn this is a project I did all glue, and maybe not. I know I did a mixture of things, but anyway, you can see the paper mache how it's kind of when you use the flour, it'll kind of give you a cloudy residue after. It doesn't matter because I was sealing everything after the fact anyway. So here I am, just putting in some foam to kind of seal in the cracks to where I wouldn't have any dents. I mean, cracks that you can see within the hat. And bam, there is the final product. Very simple concept here. Once I finished the hat, spray painted the hat with black. Then I did multi layers of the snowman head. Now again, you can see this texture here. This texture here is just texture out of the can, the eggshell. Many layers of that to where you couldn't see the ribs. A little wall spackle in there. It just, I used everything. I remember I used everything out of the shed that I had. So here, added some texture to the nose. So once I got all the details finalized, I think I went a gray, and then I went through a midnight blue, like a dark blue, and then a light blue, and then a light blue, and then a lighter blue, and then a lighter blue, and you can kind of see that in here. And then I got to a point where I would dry brush it all white, paint the eyes, paint the nose, paint the mouth, and here you go. So again, this is a project that I'm mostly proud of because with no experience and just a slight vision in mind, I truly feel that I pulled it off good. This was a major project. It took me about a month and a half, just working a little bit each time after 5. getting all them ribs to stay in place in the foam. And when I say a month and a half, maybe trying to think when I actually started this. Do I have? Let's see here. I wonder if I can pull up. This picture was taken. Hold on, which picture is this? This is 737. This picture was taken December 7th of 2009, and let's see, the ball picture was September 2nd. Okay, so from September to the first week of December is when I built it. So it took me roughly 2 months to make this, and I think we had I believe the play might have been the second week of December. So anyway, here you go. Here another great shot. I love this snowman. I love what it looked like on stage. The details came out good. It was big, it was bold, and it worked great. So there you go. So if you ever need a snowman head, that's one way to tackle it. Again, this is me building something with really no experience at that level, but I feel like I pulled it off nicely. And I wish I would have had some video on me actually doing it, but at the time I wasn't into any kind of YouTube or anything sharing wise. I just made stuff, and that's partially why I'm starting my YouTube channel now, because I want to share all the stuff I made and hopefully inspire others to get an idea of what they're going to do in the future for them if they're working on such a project. But yeah, so there you go. Final project on stage with the kids. Couldn't have asked for a better project. I mean, a better result of a project. And I don't know how many times I probably said it, but man, this is one of my great deals here that I'm proud of myself for this, because I had no clue on what I was doing. But this is where you live and learn. You do a little research. And oh, by the way, this thing with all the layers of foam and paint and glue, it was actually pretty light, because once you took the ball out of it, this thing's completely hollow. And the wall of this snowman was probably 3 to 4 inches thick. So it had a hollow center, and the kids were able to carry it between the two little ones. So again, it worked on stage. It looked great on pictures. So hope you enjoy this. And I'm doing a handful of Christmas videos. I did one the other day of me making a holiday sign. You can please check that out. I'm trying to play catch up on some of my other stuff that I did around Christmas. So hope you look forward to maybe seeing some of this other stuff. But overall, hope you enjoy this video. Throw me a like, throw me a subscribe to my channel. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. So appreciate your time. So thank you. Be cool, be safe, tie your shoes, and always live your passion. Peace.